So, understanding how AI can help my business. Now, a lot of people shy away from the idea of AI, especially right now, because it's kind of still fairly new in the sense of people understanding what it is and understanding how it can actually help you. And I get it. It can be a minefield, as a lot of things are. However, if people actually just took the time just to find out all the little intricacies as to how it could really actually benefit you, they'd actually pay a little more attention to it, because not only can it help with productivity, not only can it help with your research, not only can it help with making sure that your marketing is on point, it can equally make sure that you're actually putting the words out that you really want to work on and equally share with others, more specifically geared to the idea of who you are speaking to. It really helps you to hone in on that nature and do it in a way that's congruent to your standards and congruent to your beliefs, but also in a way that allows you to save just a little bit extra time, but to make sure once again that you're getting the productivity out there, right? So AI is a really cool thing to be able to do, and I'm going to share with you exactly what you can make sure that you are doing to use it in a way that doesn't have to be so complicated. And by the way, if you are of a creative nature, no, it doesn't take away your creativity. It actually enhances it, and it adds to it even more so. So before you get stuck into this video, please make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe to this channel. And I answer questions just like how AI can help my business, and more specifically your business, right? And I do this because I want to make sure that, especially by way of branding, especially by way of understanding that not only are you more than what you're seeing, but you're tapping into key things that actually starts resonating with an audience that you actually want to work with. And equally, you start making better connections with your audience specifically. Now, typically, I work with a lot of coaches in the coaching space, right? And business owners within the coaching space. However, the work that I do doesn't stop with just coaches. I work with dentists. I work with architects. I also work with people within the fashion industry as well. These specific areas, as well as all other areas, can really benefit, and do really benefit from having a great brand to begin with. And more specifically, from having what's known as your VPV or your brand power of 3 to also begin with. Now, before you get stuck into this video, once again, please make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. And as always, stick around to the very end, because I've got something super cool to be able to share with you. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So, okay, as I said, we're going to be talking about how can AI help my business. Now, many ways that AI can actually help your business. And no, you do not need to be afraid of AI. And no, AI does not take away your creative integrity. And no, AI does not hinder a damn thing, especially when it comes to the productivity as to what you're doing, right? What AI can do, however, is increase your productivity. It can increase the way how you're putting out or sharing the things that you're sharing within your marketing. And it can specifically help you with key decision-making aspects, and more so with the idea of trends in mind. Now, I'm going to be talking about each and every one of those aspects within this video. So let's start with number one. We're going to start there, and that's the idea of productivity, as I shared with you a minute ago. Productivity. Something as a business owner you need to have standard, right? And especially a way of being able to maximize your productivity. Now, I'm going to be putting a video out there if it's not already out there, depending on the time and when you're actually watching this video. But I'll be going into a little deep dive as to what key platforms that you can actually use in order to be able to help you with your productivity, especially when it comes to AI. Right. You don't have to be afraid of it, as I shared with you before. All it takes is just a little know-how, and to be able to use it in a way that actually suits you. Now, especially when it comes to productivity, think of it as using, think of AI as being able to help with your automations, for example. Using AI to be able to help you to schedule things, for example. When you schedule, when you automate, AI really does help you to maximize your productivity. It helps you to think about all the things that you didn't necessarily think about. We're one human being, right? So we can only take ourselves to that one certain extent. But imagine having a platform that will be able to take you that one step little further to be able to start thinking outside the box. Our brains, I can assure you, are at full capacity. And yes, there are always ways to expand our brains. There are always ways to be able to learn and how to move forwards with that. AI actually helps you to get there a little bit quicker, but at the same time, it also helps you to maximize the ideas that you've got in your head, but equally the ways you can start automating, the ways that you can actually start moving forwards, especially when it comes to scheduling. And also the general idea of management, right? Because there's a lot of things going on in our day-to-day lives, but imagine having an AI platform or scheduling system or automation system that actually takes away a lot of the work for you. It frees up your time. AI allows you to free your time up. So if that's not worth something to you, well, rethink a few things. That's all I'm going to say. Now, let's move on to number 2, which is marketing. Now, marketing, as you know, it goes hand in hand with your brand, right? Branding is the key fundamental asset that everybody should be tapping into, and everybody actually does have, but not everybody knows how to use it properly. Now, when you understand what your brand power of 3 is, you know, I'm forever talking about that, your VPV, your vision, your purpose, and your values. When you understand what those aspects are, you start beginning to build what's known as your brand. From that, you actually understand what your message is. That message is something that you can actually share with an AI platform. AI can actually help you with your marketing. Now, when I talk about this part, you actually have to feed a little bit of information into your AI platform to begin with. However, when you understand what your VPV was to begin with, you know, I've shared with you about it already, especially when it comes to the likes of branding, right? Branding is all about understanding what your brand power of 3 is to begin with, and then you build up off of that. Your brand actually feeds into your marketing. So now when you understand what your brand message is, you understand what your core message should be for your marketing. So, for example, I understand that my brand is all about helping others to see that they are more than what they see. Because there's a lot of times that not many people are tapping into the gold dust that lies beneath the surface level as to what they're doing. Now, I help to relay that point with any marketing that I'm doing. I share that information with my AI platform, and I get my AI platform to sometimes, not all the time, sometimes I actually do come up with the descriptions, especially for myself. However, I do like to use the AI platform every now and then to be able to help me to think outside the box. It's that thinking outside the box aspect once again, right? But here, when it comes to marketing, you can help it to come up with your social media content descriptions. It can actually come up with graphics as well, depending on which AI platform that you're actually using. And also, it'll help me to understand, right, how I can word certain things that, or maybe I'm trying to get an idea out and it's just not coming to me. Have you ever had that kind of word block, right? Or thinking of like, oh, I know exactly what I want to write. So you describe it to your AI platform and it will be able to think of what it is that you were thinking about. Again, it helps you to get there quicker. So you're not spending hours upon hours on end trying to figure it out yourself. You don't have to figure this out yourself. There are so many tools and platforms out there to be able to help to get you to that next level. Okay, so now that's marketing, that's productivity. Now let's talk about this next bit, which is number 3, which is the understanding the idea of data management, or more specifically, decision making and all that kind of good stuff, right? Now, data management or decision making, in fact, all of this pertains to the idea of stats. How do you understand your stats, especially around the business that you have? If, for example, you're in the line of work where you literally need to always constantly talk about what are stats in comparison to your competitors, what are stats within the market, what are the trends that are happening within your industry? AI platforms are out there to be able to fish that information out for you. They'll be able to web scrape, or whatever the terminology you want to use. They'll be able to gather that information for you and put it in a concise report for you, so that you can literally get the job done quicker. It's not you having to go through Google or any other search engine platform. It's actually using the AI platform to be able to help to determine what this key information is. So say, for example, you're of a business where you're constantly, as I shared with you before, right, constantly trying to make sure that the stats are on point. For example, I might need a stat to do with female entrepreneurship, especially within regards to male entrepreneurship, right? So now, what is the difference? And I can always type that in and I can always ask that question. I will always say, with all of these platforms that you're tapping into when it comes to AI, you've got to be specific and you've got to be direct with the clear-cut information that you really, really want out of the AI platform. Because the more specific you are and the details that you're looking for is the more accurate the AI platform will actually be for yourself. AI can also help to build tables for you. And I'm talking like Excel spreadsheets, by the way, in the sense where you can literally gather and say, for example, AI, I really need to pull a table together of quotes from a certain writer. And can you make sure that you also tap into a few of their books as well? Can you make one column about the quotes, another column about where the quote came from, and equally another column about the year in which the quote was talked about? The AI platform will literally be able to talk about that for you and actually pull that information together for you and actually construct that chart for you. It can even do pie charts as well, folks. There's a lot that it can do, but it all depends on which AI platform you're going to be using to begin with. And as I said, I'm going to share a video pretty soon, if it's not already out, talking about which AI platforms can do all these things and more. And there are 1,000,001, and probably by the time I'm doing this video, there'll be even a more bigger number of AI platforms that are out there, because AI is here to stay, folks. No matter how much time you try to avoid it, it is here. But use it to your advantage. Use it in a way that actually benefits you, but equally also use it in a way that's super congruent to your standards and your beliefs. As I shared with you before, AI is there to be able to help with productivity. It is there to be able to enhance what it is that you're doing, maximize the rate at which you're doing, and essentially be able to help you to think outside the box as well, create those great ideas for yourself. And also on the idea of creativity, because I know a lot of people are against the idea of AI, thinking that it takes away the creative element. Now, I'm not saying you use AI depending on what your work is. I'm not saying that you use AI to do any and every single thing of your business. No. What I am saying is use it to help enhance the creativity behind what it is that you're doing. I am a creative person, as you already know. I'm a brand specialist, and that being said, branding comes from me, right? The idea of the creativity aspect, it comes from me. There's still a level of creativity that I still have to put into that AI platform on certain things, not everything, but on certain things in order to be able to get the information that I want to begin with. Don't use AI to take over, right? But at the same time, use it to be able to help and allow you to think outside the box. There's only so much you as the individual can do, right? So why not use an AI platform to be able to help you to further or even better your productivity or your marketing or whatever it is that you've got coming from you? It doesn't ever have to take over, but why not use it to enhance, and why not use it to expand on the knowledge that you already have as well? Because we're all learning. So use it to help you to learn even more so. So I'm going to leave it there. And as always, folks, you know me, I share content like this. I like answering questions just like this. How can AI help my business is a key question, especially of this day and age that we're living in. So go back again, watch this video, really take it in and really consider a few things as well. As I shared with you, I'm going to be sharing another video, deep diving into a few AI platforms that you can actually use for your business. But until then, folks, please make sure that you go ahead and like, subscribe to this channel. And as always, click on the link that's underneath the description, underneath this video, and really get to grips with what your brand is about, because you're going to need it, especially when it comes to AI platforms. Now, this particular checklist, or this guide if you like, takes you through key points that you really need to understand in order to be able to make sure that your brand gets the recognition that it really deserves and starts building a sustainable or even distinctive presence that people can actually start to get to know you for. So get to grips with it. Go ahead and click on the link that's underneath this video. Make sure you go ahead once again and like, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you on the other side.